Electricity powers our homes, businesses, and industries, driving the wheels of progress. Yet, behind the scenes of Pakistan's power sector lies a complex web of challenges, inefficiencies, and competition issues. The CCP's competition assessment study uncovers the realities that affect every Pakistani's access to affordable, reliable electricity. With a population of nearly 240 million relying on electricity for daily life, the power sector is vital to Pakistan's economy and future growth. But as essential as this industry is, it's riddled with competition challenges, leading to inefficiency, high costs, and unreliable supply. From the beginning, the power sector in Pakistan was vertically integrated. The Water and Power Development Authority, known as WAPDA, managed the entire electricity supply chain. In 1990s, the government initiated reforms to unbundle WAPDA's control over power sector. This led to the creation of several government and private generation companies, the National Transmission and Dispatch Company, and independent regional electricity distribution companies, known as DISCOs. Currently, there are 14 key state-owned enterprises, SOEs, operating in Pakistan, 3 in generation, 1 in transmission, and 10 in the distribution sector. The country has a total installed capacity of 45,885 megawatts that comes from a mix of sources. The majority, 62%, is thermal, powered by natural gas, coal, and oil. Hydropower contributes 23%, while nuclear energy adds 7.8% to the grid. Renewables, including wind, solar, and biomass, make up 6%, marking the country's shift towards cleaner energy sources. Households consume 44% of the total electricity, while the industrial sector uses 26%. Other consumers include agriculture, commercial sectors, and public lighting. The Central Power Purchasing Agency is a single buyer, purchasing electricity from various generation sources and selling it to distribution companies. The National Transmission and Dispatch Company is the only authorized operator of the nationwide high-voltage transmission network across country. Electricity distribution to end users is managed by the then distribution companies, each serving a separate geographic region. There is a Federal Ministry of Energy, which formulates national energy policies and oversees all power sector infrastructure. Given the issues and challenges in the power sector, the government has established a Cabinet Committee on Energy to make key decisions and address these challenges. The National Electric Power Regulatory Authority, established under an act, regulates the electricity market to ensure the provision of safe, reliable, and affordable power. Additionally, the government has established a Public-Private Infrastructure Board, PPIB, to promote private investment, and the power holding manages power sector liabilities. Despite successive governments' efforts to reform the power sector, state-owned companies still dominate the transmission and distribution sector, thus limiting competition and hindering private sector innovation and investment. The biggest issue is the high upfront cost, which creates a major barrier for new investors trying to enter the generation, transmission, and distribution market. Secondly, Pakistan's power market is largely monopolistic, operating under a single buyer model. Much of the power infrastructure is outdated and needs upgrades. State-owned companies dominate power distribution, with losses ranges from 8 to 37%. DISCOs face inefficiencies, high losses, and load shedding, affecting paying customers and raising circular debt. Additionally, the uniform tariff and subsidies for tariff differences worsen competition barriers by supporting inefficient DISCOs over efficient ones. These issues create major barriers to a competitive power market and hinder its development. One visible result is load shedding, with summer power outages highlighting system inefficiencies. This leads to higher electricity bills and regular disruptions that harm quality of life and business productivity. The government should promptly implement the competitive trading bilateral contract market, the CTBCM model, to open the wholesale electricity market of Pakistan. NEPRA approved the CTBCM model in 2020. This market will allow bulk power consumers with a load of 1 megawatt or more the choice to purchase electricity from either DISCOs or a competitive supplier. The power distribution companies must promptly activate their market and regulatory affairs departments to prepare for competition once the CTBCM is operational. Transmission and distribution charges must be rationalized to ensure the effective implementation of Pakistan's bulk electricity market. The government should strategically decommission outdated and inefficient state-owned power generation plants. This will help reduce the financial burden of capacity payments. Provincial and local governments should be permitted to seek off-grid solutions to electricity issues by engaging with the private sector. The transmission capacity requires enhancement and upgrading. The government should implement the Transmission Line Policy 2015 to encourage private sector participation through the BOOT model. Privatization, or public-private partnerships, are the best solutions for distribution companies to reduce high distribution losses. Additionally, tariff differential subsidies should be eliminated, and the uniform tariff system should be discontinued. The costs from underperforming discos should not be passed on to consumers of better-performing discos. The ultimate goal should be to establish retail competition in the power sector, allowing consumers to choose their suppliers.